All right, welcome back to another synthesis tutorial for MUST 341. This time we're getting into LFOs for their use in frequency modulation. This is kind of the best way to start with frequency modulation because it's a little bit more predictable and less crazy than you would get with using VCOs, although we're going to get to there very shortly. This is classic frequency modulation, so we're doing it with two oscillators. In this case, I've got a VCO that's connected to my keyboard and an LFO that is not. We're also going to do the same thing with two VCOs, again, one connected and one not, and then a complex oscillator. This is not, however, operator-based FM or Chowning style like you would have on the Yamaha DX7 or the excellent free VST Dext. That will be covered in class, but that's a bigger topic and we're going to do that together all at once. So with this, this basic LFO based set of frequency modulation, here is how this works, and let me just kind of walk you through this because this is a little bit complex, and yeah, it's pretty entertaining. What we've got here is the VCO, and it's sending out its sine wave to a wave folder. What the wave folder is doing is it's effectively folding back the top and the bottom of the waveform onto itself so that if it were to go above a set point in the waveform, it then folds down and you get kind of a little M cutout on the top, or a U. Then it's doing the same thing with the downside. So the lower shape is getting cut out and you get kind of a W effect. That's going to a wave shaper, which allows us to adjust the shape or the slope of the wave, and we're doing that using the shape knob, and we can actually do this with multiple channels and then mix them and sum them with this particular one. Instead of using an ADSR envelope, I'm using Rampage, which is a rise and fall envelope generator. So this is technically a function generator because it's describing a mathematical function of going up and then going down over sets of time, which are controlled with rise and fall. I can also adjust the slope. It's currently set to linear, but I can take that down and make it exponential or logarithmic on either side of that knob. That is going into the special sauce if you want to do Buchla style FM, which is the low pass gate. And the low-pass gate is one of my favorite modules to use because it combines two things that I use very commonly into one unit. So typically with a low-pass gate, you are replacing a voltage-controlled amplifier and a low-pass filter. And the way that this works is that you send your envelope generator into the low-pass gate, and as the envelope opens up, you are increasing both the cutoff frequency for the filter and the amount of amplification simultaneously. So as it gets louder, more of those higher partials are heard. And this is very, very similar to how a lot of acoustic instruments function, so it's very good for creating really natural sounding synth sounds. Then that outputs into just spring reverb. This is not necessary. I just happen to like a little bit of reverb on my FM patches. So your mileage may vary. Other good ideas are to use delay or a chorus or pretty much anything else that you so desire. And really, it's up to you how you're going to use that. Now for the modulation. So down here, I have a low frequency oscillator, which is going to an attenuverter. And then from there, it's going into the VCO's FM input. And I'm just doing that so that I can control all of the modulation with a larger knob that, unlike the FM input knob here, I have a little bit more control when I'm using a trackpad. This is also sending its LFO signal to the wave folder CVF, which is controlling the amount of folding shape. It's basically this fold knob up here as modulated by the CVF knob. Next to the attenuverter, I have a random voltage source, and that is actually going into the wave shaper for shape A, and it's applying different amounts of random CV to that wave shape knob via the CV1. So let's hear what this sounds like. I'm going to turn on the spectrogram here so we can see it. And here is middle C. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. We've got some cool stuff going on with the random source, which we can slow it or speed it up. I'm going to go just a little bit slower. And we've got the LFO that's modulating the wave folder. And if I change that, I can get different things. I can also play with how much of the upper or lower wave folding is going on. And of course, I can adjust the slope of my rise and fall envelope. But to actually get LFOs into the VCO for frequency modulation, I need to turn this knob here up. And this is where we're going to be affecting the frequency of the VCO via the LFO. And again, I'm just doing this with sine waves, but that's the classic example. You can use any type of waveform that you so desire for this. So that's really cool. Effectively, we are sweeping the frequency knob really, really fast with a fairly high-speed LFO. This is about 58 hertz, but we can change that as well. So I'm going to increase the amount of frequency modulation, and then we're going to change the actual frequency of the modulator oscillator. Yeah, it's just a great sound. I love using this. But this is where it starts. This is the first step on FM synthesis, which again, we're going to be spending a lot of time on in class. But this is the patch. It is available already on the Learning Management System. So download this, experiment with it, and see how far you can push it in terms of the boundaries for getting crazy, insane sounds versus nice, more stable, more pitch constant sounds.